A very good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss some more important problem regarding the concept of super mesh as well as the super node. So in the last class we discussed about the concept of super node, and let's do some important problem regarding the super mesh concept also. Okay, super node as well as super mesh are very important concept in circuit theory. So let us discuss an important problem in super mesh concept. Okay, super mesh concept. Okay, please write down a question. Please write down a question. Please write down a question. So our question is find I1 and I2, right? Find I1 and I2. Our question is to find I1 and I2. Okay, how can it be solved? How can it be solved? Find I1 and I2. How can it be solved? This can be solved by the concept called super mesh. So in the previous class we discussed about the concept of super node. That means a super node is a concept of what? A voltage source in between two nodes. No, a voltage source in between two nodes is called the super node. That means super means beyond the node. So normal node is simply two nodes connected in between, that resistance will be there, some elements will be there. But super node means between two nodes there will be only what? A voltage source. So that type of node will be considered as the super node, because it is difficult to write KCL equation there. That is why it is called a super node. So we did some problem regarding the super node and you know how to solve it. And now let's talk about the super mesh concept. So super mesh is nothing but between two meshes there will be a current source. Only current source. No, only current source. Even if you found any resistance series with this current source, you can simply neglect it. Like if you see any parallel resistance in super node, right? No, in parallel resistance in super node, you simply neglect. No, in same manner here also, if you found any series resistance in between this current source or across this current source, then it can be easily avoided. You need not to consider that. It's simply short circuit and you can continue the calculation. Okay, that is a peculiarity. So how can we solve this question by using super mesh? So super mesh is nothing but there will be a current source in between two meshes. So it is very difficult to form KVL equation, because here suppose you assume current here and current here, it will be some more complication will be there. So in order to avoid that, we are using a concept of super mesh. So like super node concept, first we done how the super node arrived, the equation regarding how the super node arrived, or the equation for super node, and then considered that super node as a single node, and we form the KCL equation there. KCL means the nodal equations there. Similarly here also you have to first write how that super current formed, super node, super voltage, here it is super current, how that super current formed, you have to write it first. So let's see, I am applying KCL equation here, so it will be, see, I2 is the incoming current, but 2 and I1 are the outgoing current. No? So incoming current is always taken to be positive and 2 outgoing currents taken to be negative. So it will become applying, so apply apply KCL at node A. So it will become, how can I write like this? I2 minus I1 minus 2 equal to 0, or simply I2 minus I1 equal to 2. Let be equation number 1. So this is the equation which connecting I1 and I2 in terms of what as that supernode current. Now, if you wrote this equation for super current, then you can simply cover it. You can simply cover it. That means you can simply avoid that section and consider the remaining as a very big mesh called the super mesh. And you can write the equation for, KVL equation for super mesh. You can write the KVL equation for super mesh. In previous case, it was a case of super node concept. First you wrote the equation for how that super node arrived, how that super voltage, how that super voltage obtained, V1 minus V2 equal to 2, that equation, that is how or represent that super voltage in terms of the node voltage. That was the first step. And next step was what? You wrote the KVL equation, KCL equation. Now here it is KCL equation, but there first you write the KCL equation at junction, okay, and then you form the KVL equation. In previous case, first you wrote the voltage equation, KVL equation, and then you wrote the KCL equation. That is the difference. Okay. Anyway, so now you have to write the big mesh equation or the super mesh equation. Let that mesh name be A, B, C, D, E. So consider super mesh A, B, C, D, A, right? Super mesh A, B, C, D, A, and write the equation for KVL equation, like the KVL equation for super mesh. Let's see that. I am moving from here to here. So what I get? See, this is I1 means like I can consider this loop contain I1. No, if this is I1 means this loop contain a current of I1. Clear? Then only it will come here, and these also will be I1. No, and if it is I2 means I can consider this loop current as I2, because then only it come here, and it will form I2. But this current will be difference. This current is the difference in this current. No, difference in this current. It is 2. Is it clear? So this current I1 means I can consider this loop current as I1. This current I2 means I can consider this current as I2. No issues there. So what will be the KVL equation? So I am moving from here to here. So what will be that? Moving from here to here means minus to plus. It will be plus 10 minus I1, right? Minus I1, because 1 into I1 is minus I1. I came here, no need to consider this, no, we already wrote the equation for that, you no need to consider that. So I came here, and again minus 2I2, again minus 6, I came here, no elements is there, so it will form the equal to 0 is the equation. So it will become minus I1 minus 2I2 equal to minus 4, or simply I1 plus 2I2 equal to 4. Let be equation number 2. You can simply solve equation 1 and 2. Solve 1 and 2. What I get? How can I solve this 1 and 2? You simply add, you simply add this minus I1 and plus I1 got cancelled. 2I2 plus I2 will be 3I2 equal to 2 plus 4, it is nothing but 6, or I2 is equal to 2. I2 is equal to 2 ampere, or what is that? Substitute this I2 value in equation 2 or either in 1, no issue there. So I can substitute this value in equation number 1, so that minus I1 equal to 2 minus I2, right? 2 minus I2. So it will become 2 minus I2 is what? 2, right? So it will become 0. So I1 will be equal to 0 ampere. So I1 will be 0 and I2 is equal to 2. Let's check the answer. Yes, I1 equal to 0 and I2 equal to 2 ampere. So this is the concept. Is it clear? Is it clear? That means you have to consider it as a what? First you have to write the equation for that super current. That super current included equation you should write first. In previous case, super voltage equation you should include now. Super voltage equation V1 minus V2 equal to 2, V2 minus V3 equal to 3, right? That like equation you have to write first. So that is marked as the equation number 1. And next step, what is the next step? Consider or simply covering it. Simply covering, that means no need to consider this again, because you already wrote the equation for that, no need to consider. And imagine a super mesh, but keep in your mind that the loop currents are same as before, like the node voltage is same as before. No, in super node concept, the node voltage is directly what above the elements will be same. Here also the loop currents in that old loop is considered to be same here also. I mean, even if you cover the element, but you have to consider it as a loop again. That means even if you consider it as a super mesh, even if you consider it as a super mesh, but the loop current same as before. That means combined equation of I1 and I2 will be a single equation. Like that, a combined equation of V1 and V2 will be a single equation now in the case of super node concept. So similarly in the case of super mesh concept, this is how you have to write. So is it clear? So where you can apply, no, in super node concept means, what is super node means? Super node means nothing but a voltage source between two nodes, right? Two nodes. That is called a super node. Or what is super mesh means? Super mesh means it is nothing but a current source between two meshes. A current source between two meshes is called the super mesh. Is it clear? So this is the thumb rule you have to use in order to remember what is super node and super mesh. So in one word question you may ask directly this concept also, because consider this is a simple problem, no? So it may not take much time. So some problems are there in super node and super mesh concept. It need three variables will be there, so you have to solve it for very long time. So at that time in JEE and like one word means 1 mark each question, like examination, you may ask simply what is a super node and what is a super mesh. So objective oriented also you have to know the things. Okay, objective oriented also you have to know the things. That is the main aim of doing this type of problem. So a part of the portion or part of this problem may ask in your examination. Need not be all the solution and need not be write all the step and all in your examination. You need to just make sure you have grabbed the concept. That's it. Is it clear? Okay. So let's do another problem. You will get more and more clarity. Okay. So question is, find I1, I2, I3 using, or simply find I1, I2, I3. There is no need to find using word, because by looking into the question you have to know which is the best method to solve this type of problems. Okay. So this is the question. You have to find the value of I1 and I2 and I3. No? So if you are going for this KVL concept, no, simple KVL concept, it may consume a lot of time. So it is better to use alternate techniques. So you can use here the concept of super node or super mesh, because see, this is one mesh and this is another mesh. No, so in between these two mesh there is a current source. You don't need to consider a current source series with 2 ohm, or you don't need to consider. No, you can simply avoid this, no issues there. So writing this KVL came in currents equation, if you found anything which is series with the current source, you can simply avoid, no issues there. Okay. So let's see how can we solve. So consider this a node, consider this a node A. So I3, I1 and 2 is coming, no. So you have to write how that super current will be connected with respect to other currents. That is the first case, no. So this is super current. Our super current is nothing but 2 ampere, no. 2 ampere is the super current. So again KCL at node A, right? Node A. So it will become, what is that? I3 is the incoming current, of course it will be plus, and 2 is the incoming current, of course it will be plus, but minus I1 is the outgoing current, so minus it will be equal to 0. So simply you can write it as I3 minus I1 equal to minus 2. Let be equation number 1. I3 minus I1 equal to 2. Let be equation number 1. Okay. And what will we do next? And see, suppose this is I1 means I can consider this loop as I1, no issues there. Suppose I3 means I can consider this loop as I3, no issues there. I already assumed this is I2, no, this loop is I2, so no issues there. So next step you have to write the super mesh equation, no. So once you write the current equation which connecting the super current with respect to other currents, you can cover it. No, you need to consider this again. So you can cover it and consider this as this very big mesh as the super mesh, no. This very big mesh as the super mesh. And you have to write the KVL for the super mesh. How can I write? So consider this is the super mesh, no. So super mesh equation will be, super mesh KVL equation will be what? Super mesh KVL equation will be, I am starting from here, no. It will be 2 plus 2, no. Plus 2. I came here, I found that I1 is a current which is flowing here and I2 is the upward current here, no. So what will be the net current to this 2 ohm? It will be minus 2 into what is that? I1 minus I2. Minus 2 into I1 minus I2. I came here and came here. No need to go here, no. It is already we covered. No need to go here, go there. So you came here, no. What is the current there? See, I3 is the current like this, no. And I2 is the current like this, no. So the effective value of current through that 2 ohm will be again minus 2 into what is that? It will be see, we are on this mesh, no, super mesh, no. So we give priority to this super mesh current first. So it will be I3 minus I2. Why I didn't write I2 minus I3? Because I am on the super mesh. So I have to give the priority to what? Super mesh current first. I have to give the priority to super mesh current first. So it will be I3 minus I2, right? I3 minus I2. I came here and found this resistor, no? It will be minus I3 minus 2 into I3 minus 2 into I3. I came here, nothing is there, nothing is there, nothing is there. I completed my path. So this will be the another equation. It will be 0. This will be 0. So this will be the another equation. This will be the another equation. So now you have 3 equations, no? I mean, okay, only it is 2, no, not 3, sorry, it is 2 only, it is 2 only. And next, see, you have one equation and another is 2, but the unknowns here is nothing but 3. You have I1, you have to find I1, you have to find I2, you have to find I3. So the number of unknowns here it is 3, but you only have 2 equations. So one more equation should be there, no, in order to solve these 3 unknowns. Okay, so what will be the other equation? Except that super mesh, another simple mesh is there, no? Another simple mesh is there, it will be nothing but ABCDA. Another simple mesh is also there, no? ABCDA. So a simple mesh, no? Simple mesh ABCDA equation. Simple mesh ABCDA equation. What is that? See, I am focusing on this simple mesh now. So I am focusing on the current I2 now. I start from here to here. How can I write this? So I2 is the current like this, and but in the similar neighbor current I1 is also there. No, I1 is also there. So it will be minus 2 into I2 minus I1, right? Minus 2 into I2 minus I1, right? Minus 2 into I2 minus I1. I came here, I found here it is, what is that? Minus 2 into I2, minus 2 into I2. I came here, again here, it will be I2 here, and it will be I3 here. It will be minus 2 into I2 minus I3 will be equal to 0. There is nothing remain there, no? There is nothing remain there, so it will be equal to 0. This will be equation number 3. This will be equation number 3. So now you have equation number 1, 2, 3. That means you have 3 unknowns, you have 3 equations. You can easily solve this, no? You can easily solve this. Actually, this question will not be asked in your examination. This question will not be asked in your examination because this question is something you need a very long time. You take very long time to solve this. So this will not be asked, but you should know the concept. That's why I included this problem here. You should know the concept. How can we consider a super mesh? How can we arrange a super mesh equation and all? Clear? Is it clear to you? Okay. So I think it's clear to you all, and let's move to another session. See, knowing the concept is very, very important. Knowing the concept is very, very important. So let's do another problem. Actually, it is a not another problem. So it's a new concept. Actually, you are going to deal with a new concept, that is network theorems. Network theorems. So network theorems means these theorems, it contains lot of theorems like Thevenin's theorem, Norton theorem, superposition theorem, and like, no, I mean maximum power transfer theorem, not superposition theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, etc. And the aim of the network theorems, in order to reduce a very big circuit or complicated circuit to a simple circuit. That is the concept of network theorem. So that you can find the corresponding values of current, voltage, anything in particular circuit by easily using some network theorems. No? Norton theorem, Thevenin's theorem, you may heard of that. Thevenin's theorem and all. So let's discuss one by one first. No, so now you have to know what is the purpose of a theorem, network theorem. What is the purpose of network theorem? It is to reduce the very big circuit or complicated circuit to simple networks. Simple networks. That is the purpose of network theorems. Okay. So let's see first what is a Thevenin's theorem. Thevenin's theorem. Thevenin's theorem. Okay. So a Thevenin's theorem include see, a Thevenin's theorem consists, if you have a network, if you have an active network, I said it is an active network, no? Active network. Active network is nothing but that network contain a voltage source, current source, no? That type of network is called the active network. Like you previously discussed, no? V1, like R1, R2, R3, again a current I1, again R1, R2, R3. That whole network is considered to be an active network because that network contains a voltage source or current source like that, no? That is why it is called the active network. So any active network, no? Any active network and having a load, no? RL load, having an RL load. These can be converted into a voltage source in series with the internal resistance. A voltage source in series with the internal resistance. A voltage source in series with the internal resistance. This is called the Thevenin's theorem. This is called the Thevenin's theorem. That means any active network which consists of active elements, voltage source, current source, etc., which may be very big circuit, that circuit, of course there will be load, no? That circuit should have a load, no? That along with the load can be converted to an equivalent of a voltage source in series with the resistance, internal resistance, in series with the internal resistance. That means it simply consists of a source with the internal resistance value. Even if containing hundreds, 200s of voltage sources, current sources, elements like that, resistor, inductor, capacitor and all, you can consider there is not capacitor and inductor, not capacitor, resistors only. Resistors, I mean voltage source, current source, etc. So that can be converted to a voltage source in series with a resistance. A voltage source in series with a resistor. This is called the Thevenin's theorem. This is called the Thevenin's theorem. This is actually a DC network theorem. It consists of DC elements only, DC circuit only. That is why DC network theorem. It's called DC network theorem. So a voltage source in series with a resistor is the Thevenin equivalent circuit. Is it clear? So let's do it by a simple example. How can we find the equivalent voltage and the equivalent resistance? V Thevenin and R Thevenin. How can we find? Let's do with an example. Okay. Even if I write the step 1, it is step 2 like this, step 3 like that, you may be confused. But it is better to do with a simple example, no? Okay. Let's see. This is E. This is R1, this is R2, R3, this is RL. Okay, this is E. So you have to convert the circuit to a voltage source in series with a resistor. That means our aim, you have to find the value of I here. That is the load current here. Suppose this is our aim. So of course this is an active network, no? So this active network can be converted to a voltage source VThevenin with series with our internal resistance. So first step is to find the value VThevenin. How can we find VThevenin? To find VThevenin. That is the first step. How can we find the value of VThevenin? So for finding the value of VThevenin, what we have to do is, at what portion we have to find the current, or simply we have to find the voltage or current, etc. You have to remove that load first. Suppose this is the current you have to find now. So this branch is very important for us. So you have to remove the load first. You have to remove the load first. So that means I can remove the load now. I can remove the load now and find the voltage across that element. Find the voltage across that element. That is the first step to find the VThevenin. So remove the load at which you have to find the current or voltage across that load, etc. That's depend upon our demand. So remove that element first. Across we have to find the effective value voltage. Suppose here you want to find the current, means remove this R1 and you have to find the VThevenin between these two terminals. Okay, but here you have to find I no, IL no, load current no. So remove that element first and we have to find the voltage between this, voltage across these two. Is it clear? So see this no, there is a peculiarity like this no, you have to find the voltage here no, voltage across here. So how can I write this? How can I write? See, suppose I consider this is current I1, this current I or simply I1 no, I1, this I1. There will not be a current flow no, because it is open circuit no, there will not be a current flow. So the current will be here, it will be 0 watt, I is equal to, or simply I2 is equal to what, 0. There will not be any current which is flowing here because it is open circuit or no. So only current I1 will be flowing in the circuit. So what is the value of I1 here? What is the value of I1 here? It is nothing but E divided by R1 plus R2, right? Because there is no I2 here, no, I2 is equal to 0. So this field only this path of resistance, no. So R1 and R2, only the resistance felt by this current I1. So it will be E divided by R1 plus R2 is the current. So current I1. So now you got the value of current I1 here, no, that current I1 here which is flowing like this. So this will be plus and this will be minus. Of course it will be plus and this will be minus. So now you have the value of I1. Is it clear? So now we have to find how can you write the equation for this loop. This loop. I already explained and said to you that even if the current is 0 there or even if it is in open terminal, you can apply KVL there. You can apply KVL there assuming the current is 0. But there exists some voltages. No? There exists some voltages. That means if you are inserting some voltmeter here, you can find some voltage in that meter. Even though voltmeter, of course you know voltmeter having very high resistance, ideally infinity resistance. Infinity is open circuited, there exists some voltage across the terminal even though current is 0. Okay, so I can apply this closed, this considered as a closed path, this considered as a closed path, and I can apply KVL there. How can I write KVL there? So when I am moving from here to here means I feel a voltage drop of I1 into R2 here, I1 into R2 here, no, I1 into R2 here, no, and the polarity, see the polarity is plus and minus, no. So voltage drop is positive, right? Voltage drop is positive, no. When I am moving from here to here, it will be positive, no. So consider second loop. Consider second loop. What I can get? It is I1 into R1 minus I2 into R3, no, minus I2. Suppose this is the current which is, suppose assume this is the current which is flowing. I2 is equal to 0, no. So no need to consider I2 into R3 because it is already 0. So but here no, minus VThevenin equal to 0. Or simply VThevenin equal to what? I1 into R1. I1 into R. So this is the VThevenin. This is the VThevenin. I1 into R1. If you know the value of I1, having some values even for some values of E1 will be there, R1, R2 there, then of course you can find the value of what? VThevenin here. Of course you can find the value of VThevenin here. Okay, so that is VThevenin. And next step is find, you found the value of VThevenin, find RThevenin. RThevenin. So for finding RThevenin, for finding the value of RThevenin, you have to switch off. You have to switch off all independent sources. You have to switch off all independent sources. Switch off all independent sources means current source will be switching off a current source means make it to open circuit, right? Switching off a voltage source means voltage source should be short circuit. Is it clear? So switching off the independent source means switch off a current source means you have to make I is equal to 0, right? Switch off a current source means you have to make I is equal to 0, right? So for making I is equal to 0, you have to open circuit it, no? You have to open circuit it. Switch off the voltage source means you have to make voltage equal to 0. For making voltage equal to 0, what you have to do? You have to simply short circuit terminal. That's why I wrote voltage source should be short circuited. Is it clear? So current source should be open circuited and voltage source should be short circuited. That is the meaning of switch off the independent sources. Okay, what is the next step? Let's see that. Let's see. And draw the circuit by applying this switch off concept. I mean switch off the simply open circuit the current source and short circuit the voltages, nothing but. Okay, so here is no current source, no, in the circuit there is no current source, no. So simply open circuit the voltage, again current source and short circuit the voltage. So here is only voltage source. You have to simply short circuit it. So the figure will be, so for find RThevenin, no. So the figure will be simply short circuit this voltage source and the remaining element will be like this, no. And the remaining element will be like this. Remaining element will be like this, R1, R2 and R3. And look at from here. So how can we find RThevenin? That is the step now. That is we have to do now. So switch off all independent sources, that is voltage source should be short circuited and current source should be open circuit. Since there is only voltage source, you have to simply short circuit the voltage source and remaining circuit will be as such, no? Remaining circuit will be as such. And look at from this side, look at from this VThevenin side, what will be the total resistance you feel? So look from this side means you have to reduce from this side, no? Look from this side means you have to reduce from this side. What will be the resistance then? What will be the resistance for RThevenin then? What will be RThevenin then? RThevenin is nothing but, see, I am solving the circuit from here. Looking from here means solving from here. So it will be R1 and R2 is in parallel, no? These are in parallel, no? These two are in parallel, no? So it will be RThevenin will be equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, no? R1 and R2 in parallel mean R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. Is it clear? So when I am looking from here means, that means if I am sending some current here, the current should feel an effective resistance of how much? That is the concept of RThevenin. If I am sending some current here, what will be the effective resistance felt by that current? That is the meaning of RThevenin. Okay, so RThevenin will be nothing but, you have to look from here means effectively you can solve from opposite side. That means R1, R2 both are in parallel. How can we identify it is in parallel? See, common terminal are connected together or not. This is one terminal of this R1 and this is another terminal of R2, no? This is connected together and similar terminals are connected together. Similar terminals are connected back. This is the first point and this is the first point, you connected together, and this is the forward point, this is the forward point connected, so it is in parallel. So it will be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, and you found the value of what? RThevenin also. You found out the value of RThevenin also. So now you have VThevenin and RThevenin. So our effective circuit will be Our effective circuit will be simply, what is that? Simply, what is that? So equivalent circuit will be final circuit, or simply final circuit will be what is that? V Thevenin, that is the voltage, Thevenin voltage in series with what? R Thevenin. And there is something, no? You removed that term first, no? That is nothing but our load. The first step you removed the load, no? So that is we have to include now. So it will be RL. This is the current I. This is the current I have to find. So how can we find the value of I now? I is nothing but V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin plus RL. That is the value of I. So this is the steps you have to use for solving what? Thevenin theorem. Is it clear? So let's do some problem. Definitely it will be very, very, very clear, because no, theory is something you always feel some difficulty, but you have an idea about theory, and after that you have to do problems again and again. You have to do so many problems. Then that theory will be concreted. That is the concept here. Is it clear? So let's do some problems and find what is that. So where we can apply network theorem, in one word question you may ask, it can be applied to, this is a short term I always use to remain, LBAP. LBAP means you can apply this to linear, bilateral, active and passive. Linear, bilateral, active and passive circuit. So in interviews or as a one word in examination you may ask that Thevenin theorem can be applicable to what circuits. So there may be non-linear, there may be unilateral, there may be active. So which you are going to tick? It is of course active. So it can be applicable for linear, bilateral, active and passive circuit. Is it clear? So LBAP is the technique to remain this. LBAP. So Thevenin theorem can be applied to LBAP, linear, bilateral, active and passive circuits. Okay. So let's do some problems in Thevenin theorem, so that your theory will be concrete. It will be concreted. Okay. Your theory will be concreted. Okay. Write a question. You can write a question. You can write a question now. Okay. The first step in this question is also a big question. How can we solve this? Let's see what is the time now. Okay. Let's do this question also. How can we solve this question? That means you have to find the value of I here. That is our aim. How can we start with? So first step I already said, you have to find the value of VThevenin, right? You have to find the value of VThevenin. That is our first step. How can we find VThevenin? You have to remove the element across which we have to find the current. That is the first step. That is considered as the load now. we have to find the value of current I here. So remove this current, remove this element 3 ohm first, because that is act as the load here. In previous example, the last session was the load. No, it need not be all the time that last session should be load. Sometimes you have to find in between the currents, also. So here we have to find the value of I here. So now you have to remove this 3 ohm first. You have to remove this 3 ohm first, and you have to find the remaining circuit equivalent. Remaining circuit in equivalence with the Thevenin circuit. Okay. So remove this 3 ohm first. First step is that we have to find this, remove this 3 ohm. So when I remove this 3 ohm, what will be the remaining circuit? What will be the remaining circuit? So let's see that. So it will be 10 volt, 1 ohm, right? So it will be 2 ohm, and you removed so remaining will be only 2 ampere is there, and 4 ohm is there, and 5 ohm is there, and 2 volt is there. 2 volt is there. So now you have to find the voltage in between these two. This is nothing but suppose this is A and this is B, means this is the terminal Thevenin's voltage. So for finding the Thevenin's voltage, first step you remove the session first. So you removed the 3 ohm, and remaining session will be there, no? Some remaining session will be there, no? So across these terminals you have to find the value of Thevenin voltage. That is nothing but VThevenin. How can we find VThevenin here? How can we find VThevenin here? How can we find VThevenin here, no? How can we find? Okay. Okay, let's do something. There is a flow of current I1 now. There is a flow of current I1 in this loop now. Let be already know. So it will be C A D E. So C A D E, there will be a loop. No, there is a loop, or simply there is a mesh. So you can apply KVL here. What is that? 10 increasing voltage, no? 10 minus I1, no? Because 1 into I1 means minus I1. Simply minus 2I1, which is equal to 0. Or simply I1 will be equal to what? That is 3I1 will be equal to 10, or I1 will be equal to 10 by 3. I1 will be equal to what? 10 by 3. I1 will be equal to what? 10 by 3. So now you have the value of I1. Now you have the value of I1. That is, I1 is always flowing like this. I1 is always flowing like this. No? I1 is always flowing like this. So this is I1. This is I1. So plus and minus here. So now you have I1. Okay, simple. And you have to find the VB also. No, VA minus VB will be the VThevenin voltage. No, so you have to find that also. So how can I find that? How can I find that? Okay, see, this is 2 volt means, this point also 2 volt, this point also 2 volt. So what I am going to do is, I have to apply nodal equation here in node B. So what I get? So apply node equation at B. What I get? See, it is the incoming current, no? It will be plus 2. This is the incoming current, it will be plus 2. So let I am assuming this will be the current like this, and this will be no. So it will be 2 minus of VB minus 2 divided by 4. So this is the assumed current direction, and this is incoming current, so it is plus 2, and this is outgoing current, which is from VB to 2, so VB minus 2 whole divided by 4, whole divided by minus of, correct? So this contain only 2 branches, no? 2 branches, so 2 equation, correct? Equal to 0. Simple node equation there. So what will be VB now? What will be VB now? Can I solve this now? V2 minus VB by 4, right? VB by 4, right? It will plus 2 by 4 equal to 0. Or simply 2 plus 1 by 2, no? 1 by 2 equal to VB by 4. Or simply 5 by 2 equal to VB by 4, right? Or simply 2 and 2 can cancel, so VB is equal to 10 volt. VB is equal to 10 volt. Is it correct? Is it correct? VB is equal to 10 volt. And see, what will be VA? What will be VA? Let's see that. Let's see that. So, listen, VA is the voltage remain of 10 minus I1 into 1, right? VA is the voltage. I can write KVL here now. Again, you can find that. Apply KVL in first loop. How can, for finding VA? See, it is 10 minus I1 into 1 will be the voltage, right? Will be the voltage VA, right? Right? 10 minus I1 into 1. That means there is a source of 10 volt minus some drop here. The remaining will be appeared across A, that is VA. So 10 minus I1 into 1 will be what? VA. So it will be 10 minus, what is I1 here? You already found I1, no? 10 by 3. So 10 by 3 equal to VA, right? 10 minus 10 by 3 equal to VA. So it will be simply, how can I write this? 30 minus 10 by 3. So it will be 20 by 3, no? 20 by 3 will be equal to 20 by 3 V volt. That is equal to what? VA. So you can write for VA as 20 by 3 volt, no? 20 by 3. And VB equal to what? 10 volt. So what will be? So this is for VA, no? VA is equal to 20 by 3 volt. And VAB is nothing but VThevenin, which is nothing but VA minus VB, right? VA minus VB, right? So it will be equal to, what is VA here? What is VA here? 20 by 3, no? 20 by 3 minus, what is VB here? 10 volt. So it will be 10. VB is 10. So it will be 20 minus 30 divided by 3 minus 10 by 3. So that is equal to VThevenin. So VThevenin is nothing but minus 10 by 3. Let's check. VThevenin is equal to minus 10 by 3 or not. Let's check. Yes, it is minus 10 by 3. Correct. So VThevenin is equal to minus 10 by 3. You got the VThevenin value. And let's check this time now. Okay, time is there. So VThevenin is equal to minus 10 by 3. Our next step is to find RThevenin. No? Our next step is to find RThevenin. Our next step is to find RThevenin. Our next step is to find the RThevenin. So RThevenin. So I already told you that for find the value of RThevenin, you have to switch off the independent sources. These all are independent sources. Switch off the independent source means short circuit the current voltage source and open circuit the current source. Clear? Here also you have to find the RThevenin. No? So across these 3 ohm, that means you removed the 3 ohm. No? So across that 3 ohm you have to find the RThevenin again. Okay, VThevenin, you have to remove this and you find the VThevenin. No? The same point you have to find the RThevenin also. So the circuit will be, for finding RThevenin, what? Open circuit the current source, short circuit the voltage source, right? Open circuit the current source and short circuit the voltage source. Correct? So let's see. Short circuit 10 volt means it will be equivalent circuit will be, so here you have to find, so short circuit it, sorry, open circuit, no, current source you have to open circuit, so open circuit it, and remaining will be again you have to short circuit it. So this is open circuited portion and this is short circuited portion, and this also short circuited portion, right? Short circuited portion. So this is 1 ohm and this is 2 ohm. And this, there you have to find the value of what? RThevenin. There you have to find, in between these two terminals you have to find the value of RThevenin. A and B you have to find the value of. That means nothing but when you look from here, what will be the effective resistance felt by you? You mean as a current, no? Suppose I am here as a current. When I am moving from, the current is flowing from here to here means how can I felt a total resistance? What is the total resistance felt by me as a current? That is nothing but the RThevenin. So simply open circuit it and you find. For simplifying this, I can remove this also. Simply open circuit, I can remove this also. No? For simplifying. This is short circuit means in parallel with this also short circuit or no. So no need to consider this circuit because it is short circuited simply. So it will be like this only. So now you have what is the resistance between A and B? Simply this 1 and 2 in parallel with the series with the 4 ohm, right? So RThevenin is nothing but 1 into 2 parallel, no? So 1 into 2 divided by 3 plus 4. That is nothing but 2 by 3 plus 4, which is nothing but 2 plus 12, 2 plus 12 by 3, which is equal to 14 by 3 ohm. That is nothing but RThevenin. So now you have the value of RThevenin. It is 14 by 3 ohm. Correct? That means when I am moving from A to B means what is the total resistance I felt by? That is nothing but the RThevenin. So this and this two in parallel. Again you come here and is in series. So it will be 14 by 3 ohm. So final circuit will be, what is our final circuit? I got minus 10 by 3 as the VThevenin, no? VThevenin is minus 10 by 3. So I can represent my circuit as 10 by 3. See, polarity changed, no? Minus plus. That is why 10 by 3. 10 by 3 in series with what? 14 by 3. But there is the old resistance 3 ohm, no? We removed that 3 ohm, no? Up to this is the Thevenin equivalent circuit. But we removed that 3 ohm initially, no? So you have to include that also. So that current you have to find I. So I will be equal to what? Voltage divided by total resistance. 14 by 3 plus 3. It will be 10 by 3 whole divided by 14 plus 9 divided by 3. 3 and 3 get cancelled. It will be 10 by 23 ampere. So this is the final answer. This is the final answer. 10 by 23 ampere.